6 days, 7 days, and then somewhere in there, a little 5 points happened, right? I love Marta. The Georgia legislature doesn't give Marta any money. In the 1970s, there was a great migration of hippies from the Strip to Little 5 Points, what had been a bastion of working class white folks. Where the Redwood Inn was such a rough redneck dive, the Little 5 community reimagined the dive as a Little 5 Points pub, a neighborhood place for families, activists, queer folk, a place where the roadbusters could meet to stop the expressway. And just across Seminole from the pub was Peeler's Bar, ancient throwback, where men pushing walkers shuffled in for a flat PBR to the ding-dings of actual pinball machines. Peeler's soon becoming the Point, a first nightclub experience for many who were now in their dreaded 30s. Tommy Dean in the League of Decency every Saturday night. And on Mondays, the Indigo Girls played for free because Britt knew nobody was going to pay a cover for two folkies from Emory. Free Hugs Place. Free Hugs Place, a few doors down. But what was it? A store? A diorama? Its only name, the epigraph over the door, "We ain't mad with nobody." Jerry's Place, a time capsule of what was now so distant, the 60s. Weekday nights, a line of Congo drummers in front of Free Hugs store, Randall, Corky, and Jerry's, tribal beats echoing across US 29, bouncing off the Point building and the original Savananda, where a baby was always getting its diaper changed on that front sofa. And Mr. Finley was still selling hardware, but just barely. And the original Karis Books was in that pointy corner at Euclid, Karis, where Linda Bryant had a vision for a woman's space. Karis, where I once saw dear Natalie Merchant, so young, cross-legged on the floor in a back aisle, reading Hildegard of Bingham, me going, "Hey, there's that girl singer I saw at the pub last week," because 10,000 Maniacs had moved south for the winter to tap into some of that Athens, Atlanta energy. The magic that Danny and Harry and Sean were serving up at Wax and Facts. Yeah. Natalie and the Maniacs raking leaves all winter in Edmond Park to make ends meet. And Uncle Tupelo was playing the pub before they morphed into Wilco and Sun Volt. Same as Tinsley Ellis, Kodak, and Bernay. Same as Benjamin Smoke did after coming out of the Krog Street Tunnel to sing Pirate Jenny at the pub. And the sheep, the black radar. Benjamin's so pale, like he was on Cabbagetown laudanum, pissing in a potted plant out on the pub's back patio, and always with a joint. And over the Excelsior Mill, Piano Red himself was still banging that ancient upright. Piano Red, who the Stones always claimed was the best blues artist they had ever seen. He had the right string baby, but the wrong yo-yo. Red seemingly playing for himself over the noise of drunk tech and Emory frat boys, while our daughters ran wild, begging for Donkey Kong quarters. And Sunday afternoons, it was ultimate frisbee behind Bass High. Me, Scooter, and Durga Darshi chasing Patty Kunkel up and down that hard-baked field. Patty, please stop running so much. Patty, already the regent queen of Little 5, the sign on her store, IFO, either saying, "Yay, we're closed," or "Boo, we're open." And when we wanted breakfast, you could either brave Rogers, where it was like you just walked into somebody's family's kitchen table, or it was down to the other Patty's place, the Atomic Cafe in McClendon, where your straw paper plate holder most likely held some other customer's crusty, dried-up corn grits. All that strong coffee and scrambled tofu served with love by the goddess Avondale, who ruled the room and took no foolishness. Ernie Mars still around too, getting kicked out of both the Atomic Cafe and Susie's Hard Time for bumming cigarettes, even though he had written, "I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus." Oh, Ernie, unrepentant, same as Bill Taft, who drove the Patterson's lumber truck by day and played guerrilla theater sets at night with the Shouters in front of starving Marvins on Ponce or Buddies across from Manuel's. And over on Bonaventure, the Now explosion was pushing every boundary they could find. Lady Claire, Eloise, and Larry T. with their protege, a young RuPaul with his spin-off band, Wee Wee Pole. Rue always with a satchel of promos flyers to stick on any surface. He would stick them on you if you stood there long enough. Rue, already declaring himself Star Booty with such conviction, we never doubted him for a minute. And on one freezing night, after an epic bar crawl, Kodak told his manager, "Fuck it," then stepped out of a van going 40 down Moreland Avenue. The doctors had Grady taking all night to somehow put his skull back together. And during the 3-day induced coma that had us all so worried, the consensus around Little 5 Points was that he had landed on that mass of hair, and that is what saved him. His hair had saved his life. Kodak coming back to life singing, "Cotton Candy wasn't her name." And this the same year Hippie and Michelle and Don opened the yacht club. Julian Bond having a beer on opening night there after a Hawks game. And dear David Simpson, who just passed, always at that front table with Donna Buford and Billy Rat. David Simpson opening Coyote Trading Company. David making the Little 5 Halloween Fest what it is today. David, who helped me levitate the Pentagon after an all-night epic drive from Athens. But we put it back down very carefully. Tear gas in our eyes the whole way back. And over on DeKalb Avenue, my mother remained loyal to Roger Jordan's garage. Mr. Jordan, with his raspy potty mouth, always telling my mother, "It is fact, it's that goddamn alternate reggae." My mother liked that, straight talk. And just down Harrelson Avenue, across from the Jordan home place, there was dear Angela Carrington having tea on her wraparound porch, inviting passers-by to join her, conspiring with Chris Sibley over at Urban Nirvana to delight the world in whatever ways they could. Angela's long yellow van full of petite yayas after school, all her yayas going on to greater things. This whole scene, of course, right in the middle of a battleground. The Cyclorama's view of the Battle of Atlanta, the hallowed dirt where a war against enslavement of people had been fought. And down at the bottom of the Alta Hill, the Austin Avenue Buffet. Last holdover from the Milltown bars of Cabbagetown, just across the tracks. The buffet attracting a new breed, the redneck underground NASCAR posse, with their art school girl dates who mingled with the unreconstructed real deal roofers on Saturday afternoons for stock car races on a fuzzy TV with warm beer washing down those suspect pickled eggs. Slim Chance and the Convicts playing sets after the race with Todd Butler on vocals, and Skinny Frank undulating dancing on the bar while smoking a cigarette through his stainless steel neck stoma. And hovering over this whole shebang, it was Deacon Lunchbox, godfather of Little 5, a backwoods Baudelaire in bib tops, a wise guy Whitman in a 40T double D wired up bra with a sputtering chainsaw, chanting, "Omni bear, omni bear. Was it Polo 43 or Polo 34? Did I take the train or did I take the Ford?" An old deacon got a proper New York Times literary obituary after some peckerwood crossed the center line and took him out along with half of the Jody grind. Poor Kelly Hogan having to move to Chicago where it's so cold. Deacon's funeral procession through Little Five, the end of so much. We won't see that kind again. We won't see any of that stuff again. Thank you so much.